I was robbed by a policeman in Mexico. He pulled me over and took all the money I had. He didn't even let me keep a penny. Before jumping into the story and sharing more details about what happened to us, I just want to say that we spent almost 3 weeks in Mexico and we drove around Yucatan trouble-free, and we met so many amazing people and also kind policemen. We really had fun in Mexico and we enjoyed our time there. If you followed our Mexican travel series, you already know that when we were in Cozumel, a kind policeman approached us and stopped just to check if we are fine and our scooter is fine. He just wanted to make sure that us and our belongings were safe. So I just want to say that the act of one individual doesn't affect our judgment about the whole nation. But unfortunately, what happened to us is not rare in Mexico. Many tourists and locals experience something similar or even worse. That's why I want to talk about it and give you some tips and advice which might help you to avoid a similar situation and lose your money. While we were driving from Bacalar in the south to Valladolid, we ended up in a town called Felipe Carrillo Puerto. I was driving at the time, and since I wasn't familiar with the roads, I was driving slowly and very carefully when I saw a policeman on a motorcycle approaching us, and he asked me to pull over. So I did. He said that I was over the speed limit, which wasn't true because he didn't have camera or any device to check the speed. At the time, my speed was 28 kilometers per hour. And before we were pulled over, I saw a sign showing that the speed limit was 40 kilometers per hour. So I was sure that he was lying and I didn't do anything wrong. He asked me to show him my driving license. If a policeman asks you to show a license, what would you do? I am sure that you will do it, yeah? I did the same. I took out my driving license out of my wallet, where I keep usually all my money, and he saw the cash. So suddenly he said the fine is 3,600 pesos and we should pay the fine in 3 days when we go to the office. And he would keep my driving license for 3 days when we pay the fine at the office. He knew for sure we wouldn't want to go back to that town after 3 days. He knew that we are tourists and we were there for a short period of time. That's why he insisted, like, no, we just can pay the fine in 3 days. Then he looked at me and said there was another option. We could pay the fine on the spot, cash to him. I suddenly realized what was happening and I told him I didn't have enough money to pay the fine. But he insisted to pay him the fine there. And then suddenly he pointed at my wallet and said, whatever you have, give it to me. I handed him money, but I kept 200 pesos in my wallet. But suddenly he shouted at me and said, todos. It means all of your money. He got 1,100 pesos, all the money I had, then handed back my driving license. Basically, he robbed me and committed a crime, while his job is to protect us against the crime. I was very angry with myself for letting him to take advantage of me, and I wish I acted differently. After that, I talked to locals, tourists, and many other people that they had a similar experience. And also I did some research. So now I want to share the tips and advice I have been given. First, if you are stopped by a policeman and you are sure that you didn't do anything wrong, play dumb and pretend that you don't understand what he says. Basically, you should pretend that you don't understand the word of Spanish. Usually, in this case, the policeman gets tired and might let you go. If this trick doesn't work and the police officer asks you to show a driving license, you can just show the driving license. You don't need to hand it to him. You just need to show it. That's enough. Don't keep all of your money in your wallet. Keep the cash out of sight. We were lucky because the policeman took all of my money and didn't check Bruno's wallet because he was sitting in the passenger seat. The last advice is to take the fine. This is what the corrupt policemen don't want. They might give up and not give you a fine, but even if they give you a fine, at least you know that your money doesn't go to the hand of the corrupt person. If you have other tips and advice, please share them in the comment section. For now, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.